right here. Let's dive in.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Quietly Confident Introverts. I'm really excited that you're here, and it's nice to make a date with you every Wednesday on most podcast channels where you have podcasts being hosted. We're on there as Apple, Spotify, Amazon Audible, and on YouTube as well. We take the opportunity to share with you anytime from 12 p.m. You can watch this happening live as well. So I'm grateful that you're here listening or watching. I'm grateful that you subscribed and I'm grateful that you're sharing. Let's continue to spread the word on how we can help introverted female entrepreneurs and leaders to develop that quiet confidence that that will help you thrive in a world that is full of extroversion bias. But the truth is we all have to make our way in a world regardless of how the world is. And every introvert has a right to also achieve success on their own terms. So, today, the topic I want to be talking about is 3 reasons to network as an introvert and how to make it effective. I don't know what has helped you to grow this year so far. For me, the main thing that has helped me to grow is to embrace networking in all its forms. That is why I have decided to bring this to you today to share with you some of the insights that I have learned. So, not only will I be talking about the reasons why it's great to network, I'll also be talking about how to do it effectively, especially if you get overwhelmed by stimulus, as introverts do, as you get tired of peopling. So, in the first instance, I want to tell you that I have been working very hard behind the scenes to find out what kind of community can I create that will bring people together in the right way, that is introvert friendly, that really helps introverts not only to own their introversion, but to shine, introverted women especially. So I've been working on that and I will be relaunching that at some point. Well, if you want to find out more about it, please go to my website, www.patienceogunbona.com, and have a look at it at the top of the website. It is called Women's Vibe, and Vibe stands for Visionary Introverted Business Empowerment. So I look forward to seeing you signing up and, on the waiting list so that when things start happening, you will get to know first. Okay, so basically, what I want to talk about today, like I said, is networking. Now, sometimes when people hear that word, they're like, why should I be forced to mingle with people? Why should I be forced to get out there outside my comfort zone? Why can't things be different? Yeah, the problem is he who pays the piper, they say, dictates the tone, right? And majority rules. So a lot of things have been designed in such a way that they tend to favor those who don't mind being around people, who don't mind doing what we introverts call peopling, who don't mind, you know, hanging around for long, long time with different people or moving around with people. But introverts tend to have a limit, and once the lights go off, you begin to struggle. And that makes a lot of introverts to shrink back and hate networking and feel that, it's not something they want to get involved in. Now, I don't actually like the word networking, and I watched a video recently where Susan Cain, the author of Quiet, one of the main voices of the introvert acceptance movement, she said that neither does she like the word networking. So I tend to like the word maybe connecting with people, and that works for me best. And connection, anyway, when you think about it, when you think in terms of energy, electricity, network, and connection, kind of go hand in hand. So, what are some of key, the 3 reasons why I believe that introverts need to actually get out there and not just let extroverts have all the fun, right? Because to be honest, people don't bite. And there is fun to be had in connecting with people. and I connect in different ways. So the number one reason, as you've guessed it, and I've been mentioning it, is connection. No man is an island. You need to find your tribe. You need to find your own people. You need to find people that you can vibe with. That's why I like the word women's vibe. You need to find people that when you connect with them, you feel a sense of camaraderie. You feel a sense of belonging. And the reason is because, like I said, no man is an island. We can't exist on our own. And when I did a training recently about team dynamics, I said that most of us come into the world and join a team. All of us have a dad and a mom. I mean, yes, they're single parent homes, but you will come into a situation where you become part of the team member. So even if you have a single parent, once you arrive, you have created a team already. So that's the way to look at the world, is that we come together automatically, organically, whether we like it or not. And it's how we develop those relationships that are around us that makes all the difference. So the first reason that introverts need to network is to connect, because when you connect as well, you can handle loneliness much better. So how do you do this effectively? For me, the very first thing is, if you're looking for where to connect, I think you should give your brain, there is what is called the reticular activation system, which is that part of our brain that we give an assignment to locate the things that we're looking for in life, just in simplistic terms. So our brain is very clever. So you want to give it an assignment. Who is the right fit for me? Whenever you go out, ask yourself, who is the right fit for me? Or you tell your brain, you tell yourself, I want someone who has this characteristics, that characteristics. So when you're moving around, your brain begins to show you people. That's why they say like connects to like, energy connects, and things like that. That's what happens when you go out with an intention to connect with the right people. So you also want to have a rough idea of how many people is comfortable for you to connect with. So, or how many people are comfortable for you to connect with. When I go out to a place I've never been before, I know that my energy is already drained just trying to come to a place I don't know anybody. I'm already feeling that energy drain before I enter the room. So for me, sometimes the maximum is one person. I don't really want to move around and start looking for loads and loads of people. And once that one person I've connected in the right way that I want, every other person is a bonus. So, and sometimes I will go in, I'll feel really great, I'll feel really energized, and I'll just go with the flow, no matter the numbers. What's important is that you walk around the room, you smile, you try and make eye contact. It all takes courage, because I know that, again, the problem is when people are introverted, some introverts are shy. It is a type of introversion. So there's no need pretending that some introverts are not shy. Some introverts are shy. So making eye contact is difficult. If that's your challenge, make sure that you practice the act of, looking people in the face, smiling, finding a way to have something interesting that you want to say. And if possible, when you enter the room, don't enter the room with a desire to hide. I know that's difficult, but when you stand out, people will gravitate towards you, and you want to be able to attract the right people who feel that, oh, that's my vibe over there, I'm just going to talk to that person. Then you want to feel relaxed and not in a rush when you get into a room. You don't want to rush. What people do is this speed networking. I'm not a fan of speed networking, because you end some conversations at an awkward moment. You know that it is not necessarily about connecting. It is more about how many people you can talk to. And if you're lucky, it's like, if you're lucky and you get the numbers right, or you get that connection, fine. If you don't, fine. I'm not a fan of it. So I think that the best thing, and that actually is one of the ways that you can get quickly exhausted as an introvert. So avoid as much as possible. anything that has the word speed in it, because that is energy draining very quickly. Then the connections you make, for it to really be effective, you just don't leave there and go, oh well, I've done my bit, phew, I can now go home and lie down and close close the door for 3 days. Like recently I just finished a wedding, and it was at least 500 people there. I think whether I spoke to the 500 people or not is inconsequential. I just feel that energy in the room of people. The next day, it was nice for me to be all by myself, not talking to anybody, just walking around. I was even upset, a little bit upset, when I walked into a Subway shop to have a sandwich. And this very chatty guy decided it was time to start saying hi to people. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, I'm really not interested. But I just thought to myself, this guy is so bubbly. And, there might be somebody here today who has not had anybody to speak to. And really, this is the first person that they're having the opportunity to get a hello and a hi and to acknowledge their existence. So I went ahead and just spent some time having a chat with him. I discovered he's a very nice guy. He was really truly interested in people. He kept saying, "Oh, auntie, just go in front of me." Of course, I didn't appreciate being called auntie because I thought I should you be looking young enough. But he was around about my son's age mate, so fair enough. You know, in our African culture, I think or black culture, it's very important that you respect your elders. So he was saying to me, auntie, you go ahead of me. I am okay with going behind you. And all that kindness really made me feel good. And for me, in a sense, that is networking. So when I said that I went to a wedding, that for me is another opportunity to kind of connect with people. So I managed to speak to some people I'd never spoken to before. I'd never met the mother of the bride, but I walked up to her and said, "You look lovely. Congratulations. Let me take your picture." So I'm just trying to say that when it comes to connecting, let's think about the human to human touch and the fact that as human beings, we need it. So that's the first reason. And these are the ways that you can do it effectively. The second reason is to collaborate. Now, this is to extend that connection beyond just saying hi, beyond just talking, right? So, a connection can then help you create a partnership. It can help you work together. And sometimes, a connection can actually lead to a relationship for those that are single, right? So it's more of and that in a sense is collaboration. When you're working together, when you're thinking of partnership, I know some very great partnerships and results that I get from some coaches and things that has come from collaboration and that has come from partnership. And I really love partnering. Whenever I'm doing something, I want to bring people along. So for me, it's not always the numbers that when it comes to networking, is how can I find people to collaborate with. So, and collaboration then takes the connection from just superficial to deeper and gives meaning, isn't it? And what you're looking for, obviously, this time around is a more serious thing to think about collaboration. So you're asking yourself, what values do we have in common? What's the way that we see the world together, with the people that you're connecting with? So you want to have a strategy, you want to have something that you're going out there with. And the different types of collaborations you can form are people you want to become your clients. So when you finish connecting, when you go around, you take people's numbers, you take people's details. Don't force anybody to give you their details, but if they freely give it, then send them a message. Sometimes I say to people when I'm taking their details, I'll be like, I don't always remember the people that I have spoken to. So you're going to receive a message from me straight away right now, just so that I can say to you, hi, hi, Lisa. Hi, James. It was nice speaking to you today at XYZ networking event. I hope we can connect further. Here's my LinkedIn or something like that. Something that keeps the conversation going. So here are the different types of collaborations. You collaborate with those you want to become your clients. You collaborate with people who you want to partner with to run a business or to do something, to do a project. You collaborate with people you want to do work for, or you want to work for you. So if you're a freelancer, you're somebody who offers services, of course, you want to work for people. But at the same time, you might be connecting with people because you think, I think their services sound interesting. I want to work with them. And then you explore further how they do those services. Then you want to also connect with people who can introduce you to other people, so that other people that you can work with, other people that offer great services. That's where referrals come from. Referring and referrals is a form of collaboration. I refer you, you refer me. Some networking um, meetings and organizations, they make it like a compulsory thing. In some instances where I have been, it's quite a chore and a painful one. It works for some people, and I think that feels a lot like the more extroverted way, because extroverts can get along with many, many people. And if you're a highly sensitive person, whether extrovert or introvert, it's very hard for you to just be clocking numbers of people and to just do things without being emotionally engaged with it. So I would say that collaboration, part of it, part of the benefits is you can get referrals and you can be referred. The last point, in terms of why you need to learn to love networking, is to consolidate. Networking can be a way that you will combine meeting people, like minded people, in a growth environment. It's more like, how do I call it? Synergy. And I don't know whether the right word is osmosis. I need to check the definition of that, but that's the word that is coming to me. It's kind of like, sometimes in that environment where it's like being in a greenhouse together, where you are taking in the same air, the same level of energy from the sun and everything. So you're kind of also interacting in that what I call controlled environment, to get to grow. And it can be one of the blessed places to consolidate your growth, to actually meet people that you know that these are growth partners for life. And the truth about it is, in those spaces as well, you can get people who become peer to peer accountability partners. So you're growing together, you're building confidence through taking action. you know there is a saying by King Solomon, which is iron sharpens iron. So think about it. Have you ever taken a knife and gone to wood and tried to sharpen it? In fact, it will be getting blunter. But if you take a knife and you want to sharpen a knife, you need iron, and you sharpen it with iron. So in a growth environment where there's learning, so things like workshops, things like conferences where you're learning, they're good incubators for iron because you go there equipped to equip yourself. You're making yourself iron, you're making yourself resilient, you're making yourself develop further into your potential. You will meet like-minded people. They are coming into that space with the same energy. They've invested not just money but time, and that's the place that you want to be. So, how do you want to consolidate effectively? Now, this is where you can think about paid networks. Yeah. Find the networks that are professional networks that maybe as a result of paying, you get better quality and you're learning together. So, in that space, you can actually find yourself really nurturing yourselves together because you have skin in the game, right? And you have people who want to get a return on their investment just like you do. So you have shared interest already without even going deeper. And when you then find people that you do peer-to-peer accountability with, that has helped me a lot in my life, where I found people to connect with, where we can do some checking on each other, or we can just practice with each other something that you're bringing out, something new. So, so you ask yourself these key questions: who am I looking for inspiration from to innovate and make progress? Is that what I'm looking for? And who is best suited in this environment to help me? then when you interrogate alternative ways of seeing things to challenge your understanding and expand on something that is advanced, you know, so go to environments that people there are probably more experienced than you. So it's kind of like, instead of just thinking about it at the same level, you're thinking about those people in that environment are more or less like mentors as well. And you might find that even with that environment, you might have skills that make you a mentor as well. So a form of networking, especially in this consolidation of your growth and your learning, can be deciding to be a mentor. And then you already form a network with other mentors, but you are also mentoring people and you're meeting people as a result. And these people can later become clients as well. Or it's already a paid environment where you're mentoring, so you're being paid to do that. Then also, you go to consolidate learning by joining networks or going to places where you can practice. You can really practice, So if you want to be a great speaker, where you get the opportunity to get the microphone, where you get the opportunity to demonstrate how you can solve problems, where you get the opportunity to exhibit your skills, your talents, your services, that's where you want to be. And that's why you want to network, because it's not really easy just to wish and pray or just to hope for things. And like I said, some of these strategies are things that I have sat behind the scenes and worked on, and they have really yielded a lot of benefit. And there are things that I have learned that I'm then bringing up to work on my own community to build some of these strategies into my community when that starts. So definitely go to my website and sign up, your interest, to join the waiting list to know when Women's Vibe will be open. So I hope that you benefited from this. I just want to remind you of the three reasons why you need to network as an introvert. One of them is to connect effectively with the right people. The second one is to find people that you can collaborate with, like minded people, so that you lighten the load and you find that iron sharpens iron. The third one is to consolidate your learning, and that is the networks that allow you to practice, to strengthen yourself, or places where you can keep growing. So that's it for now. And I hope that you found these tips beneficial. And I hope that somehow, if you see me around and you're listening to this in any networking event, please come say hi to me and let's connect even further. Let's take it beyond you just being a listener to us seeing, whether there is any form of alignment for us to work together, for us to partner together in whatever shape or form that might look like. So as usual, I want to leave you with this lovely quote. And it says, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You can say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along." And I think networking is one of those horrors, as far as I'm aware, that introverts do say, oh no, it's just, I don't know. I really can't be asked to do this. But then when you think about this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, which says, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You can say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. Really getting out there and not letting extroverts have all the fun. And you just have your own way, your own introvert friendly way of having fun and your own strategies to achieve your goals. Then, you can live through it, but you are growing through it. I always say, don't just go through it, grow through it. So until next time, when you will be joining me again on another exciting episode, I encourage you to own your strengths, trust your journey, and let your inner introverted leader shine. Take care and God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Quietly Confident Introverts. If you found today's discussion valuable, please subscribe, rate, review, and share the podcast with others. You can also connect with me, Patience Ogunbona, at The Visionary Introverted Woman. Until next time, Stay confidently introverted.